Yeah, you mentioned New York is now maybe pulling on your attention a little bit.
I've always wanted to live there.
Was it a dream? Yeah. Can you tell maybe what brought you there in the first place?
Well, I went over there initially for gigs, but I've always just felt really at home there and really just enjoyed the energy of the place and just the pace of it. And I don't know if I could be there for my whole life, but I'd love to go there for a year or two, and see what happens.
Is there already now concrete plans that maybe will lead to that?
No.
You have to just see when you come back from touring.
Yeah, I don't know when my touring will be finished, but as soon as it is, I'm going.
What do you like about the working pace there, or the pace of the city?
I just find it all quite exciting, and I love the food, and I think the more you travel, the more you think, well, first of all, the more I love where I'm from, but also you kind of think, God, it would be a shame to never live anywhere else, in a way, because there's so many wonderful places in the world, even not forever, but just for 6 months here or 6 months there, and I kind of attracted to that idea of just moving around a bit while I can,
While you can? Do you have the feeling that you wouldn't be able? Maybe?
Oh, well, just I'm sure, if I had a family and stuff, you can't sort of say, hey, we're going to move to the Sahara. Come on, kids. So, I know that is something that would make that more difficult. So, well, I might as well go while I can.
Is that a little bit, that's maybe a bit of a personal question, but is that something that you maybe, struggling with, that maybe now you're in the career is getting a huge lift, that maybe if you want to combine it with family life in the future?
No, not something I'm struggling with, but I'm just I just want to do as much as I can now. I mean, I'm not really thinking about that it's more just that, there's no point in hanging around waiting for things to be the perfect time for you to move to New York or something like that. You kind of just have to, when you've got a gap, you got to run.
Is it something you have learned over the past few years?
Well, I have certainly learned that time passes very fast. You think, God, it's been a long time, especially with what I do. That we're always kind of on the move, and time can pass really fast. So I think, as always happens when you get older, you realise how. I guess it's like. I guess the proportion of time, the proportion of time that you're alive, each day is like a smaller and smaller proportion. So it seems like it's just getting faster. I don't know, but I'm very aware of it. Yeah. Do things when you want to do them, or you might never do them.
Also, you mentioned you also appreciate your own home when you come back from a travel. What is specifically something in Ireland that attracts you and makes you feel there?
I think in Ireland I miss when I'm away, just like there's a particular sort of sense of humour that Irish people have that I think, if you're away for a while, you do kind of just miss. And every culture has their own little thing that, but I do, I miss the people and, that sort of stuff. But okay. I love travelling, but where everybody knows your name. It's like Cheers.
But your music, you said you sometimes you get the idea of just by sitting at home and maybe playing something. You said that when you have a certain skeleton of songs, you present it to the people you play with. What kind of thing happened when they hear your song for the first time? How do you present it to them?
I would usually just sort of come in with the instrument that I'm writing it on, and just sort of say, this is the basic structure, and we just sort of play through it a few times and everyone plays along and figures out the chords, figures out the structure, and then we can start to really sort of shape it and think, well, actually, what sort of drum pattern do you think would be interesting and be suitable? And then people might just keep, swapping instruments and just to see which one sort of serves the song best. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a process of messing, really. You want to not think too deeply about it. You never know what you're going to get to as well by. You have to experiment and do things wrong before you can find something that's actually right for it. So, we spend a lot of time playing the song and not really saying anything. Everyone just kind of gets on with it and feels comfortable. And then we start going, I like what you did there, and I like what you did there. And can we try that on the harmonium? That kind of thing.
Are you the one who decides what stays and what not?
Well, ultimately, but everybody, you know, everyone brings their own thing. I mean, I would probably, you know, I'd be the one to say, no, I don't like that. But I don't sort of tell people what to play or anything. I mean, they're much better at playing their instruments than I am.
Can you tell maybe what are the kind of things that they come up with that you maybe you wouldn't?
I mean,
Aside from the instrument, maybe, but more in idea-wise.
Just a feel, you know. Sometimes things you're like, because I might bring something in a very sort of skeletal form, and I can sort of hear the vibe of it in my head, even though I don't necessarily know how to translate that. But excuse me. But they, you know, they can fill in those gaps sometimes in it with a different feel, and I'm like, oh no, it's actually more like this. So, you know, they're very good at kind of trying to figure out what I can hear and can't explain.